And at number 10, David Dobrik. Of course, I had to start this list off with the most prominent cancellation going on right now. David Dobrik. David Dobrik and his vlog squad have been getting backlash for old pranks for months now, but David never decided to address it until an insider article was published that shared an account from a woman that said that a member of the group, Durte Dom, forced himself on her while David was filming a bit for the vlog. In the article, David is called out for facilitating a toxic environment that led to illegal and disgusting acts to be committed. A few former members of the vlog squad, Seth Francois and Big Nick, also came forward on the H3 podcast and exposed how they were both picked on while they were part of the squad and agreed to do uncomfortable things just for content. They also claimed that when they spoke up about it, they were cut from the group. Currently, tons of sponsors have dropped David, including Siki, who helped him give away free cars to most of his friends, as well as monetization has been stripped from his YouTube channel. And I don't think he's going to be coming back for a long time. And at number 9, James Charles. Honestly, this is looking like the year that James Charles could actually be cancelled. Back in 2019, in the midst of the bi-sister scandal, James went through the biggest cancellation YouTube had ever seen because of allegations from Tati Westbrook and Jeffree Star that James was using his influence to trick men, specifically straight men, into being with him. James was able to refute a lot of the claims and his career quickly came back. However, recently tons of have come forward to expose that they had sent and received lewd photos from James on Snapchat, with many even providing proof. A recent tweet from Keemstar states that currently 6 teenagers have come out against James so far, but honestly I wouldn't be surprised if that number was actually a lot higher based on how many people have been coming forward on TikTok very recently. James addressed one allegation months ago, but by and large it wasn't accepted by fans, and the backlash against him has only grown since then. And at number 8, Durte Dom. Durte Dom is not only cancelled, but there's a high chance that he could actually face jail time with what's been coming out about him. Multiple women have come forward with their stories of being harassed by Dom, with the focal point of the recent insider article exposing that Dom forced himself on a girl named Hannah while she was intoxicated. Dom's career was starting to fall off ever since he stopped appearing in the vlogs regularly, and with these more recent allegations, I'd be shocked if he ever comes back to YouTube at all. And at number 7, Amanda Ensing. Beauty influencer Amanda Ensing was cancelled after she became increasingly political on her social media accounts. Ensing is a pro-Trump Republican. The Sun reported that Ensing tweeted and retweeted more than 50 times the day of the Capitol riots in support of the rioters. Then apparently days later, she uploaded a video sponsored by Sephora. Sephora's social media accounts were then immediately flooded with backlash for working with Ensing, and she was later dropped by the brand because of that backlash. Sephora's social media channels were then flooded by comments by followers of Ensing, bashing the company for cutting ties with her just because she was conservative. Ensing responded to her split from Sephora by posting a video to her channel where she claimed to be unfairly singled out by the company for being Republican and Christian. However, her critics say that she was not dropped for being conservative, but rather for spreading controversial information. And at number 6, the Lopez Brothers. TikTok stars Anthony and Andreas Lopez have both been accused of with teenagers. The backlash started when multiple allegations came out against Tony Lopez, with most of the accusers providing screenshots that they told Tony their ages. Then months later, an accusation came out about Andreas. As well, a TikTok went viral that showed Andreas speaking with the mother of that teenage accuser, essentially proving that it did happen. In early January of this year, it was reported that a lawsuit had been filed against Tony for his actions. The brothers somehow still managed to get millions of views on TikTok, but most of the comments are all negative surrounding these situations. Halfway at number 5, Gabi Demartino. YouTuber Gabi Demartino was cancelled after it was exposed that she sold inappropriate photos of herself on OnlyFans, which was essentially selling illegal content to people that expected it to be explicit because it was being sold on OnlyFans. And because of a leaked DM conversation, we know that it was intended to be this way, with her saying in that conversation, quote, "Won't put my panties on." The backlash for this one was swift, and she ended up addressing it on her channel in a short video. After the scandal, she rebranded, but quickly changed back to her old fancy aesthetic, with people wondering if the rebrand was only to take people's attention off the scandal. And at number 4, Ava Louise. Ava Louise is an influencer that comes back into mainstream attention whenever she tries to expose other creators. She made headlines this year when she accused Kanye West of cheating on Kim Kardashian with a quote male beauty guru. Immediately after the video was posted, people assumed this person was Jeffree Star because they both live in Calabasas and have homes in Wyoming. However, it was later revealed that the person she was talking about was her good friend Cole Kerrigan. Now that the drama has subsided, many people who believed Ava during the midst of the scandal believe she was just lying for attention, especially since she later admitted to faking everything just for views. However, that could have just been to avoid a lawsuit. We may never know. And at number 3, Olivia Jade. Olivia Jade Januli has spent 2021 trying to recover from her involvement in the high-profile federal case Operation Varsity Blues. She even went on Red Table Talk in December of 2020 to try and tell her side of the story, which was met with tons of backlash. And it seems that 2021 has not been much better. either. She recently got into a scandal after she made a TikTok speaking about how everybody's pain is valid, regardless of how privileged someone may be. With her saying in that video, quote, "It doesn't matter if I'm drowning in 60 feet of water and you're drowning in 30. We're both still drowning." But that was called out to be tone deaf, with many saying that she wasn't being publicly shamed because of her involvement in the scandal, however being held accountable for cheating when she was already so ahead in life. In at number 2, Jason Nash. Jason Nash is a part of the Vlog Squad and is David Dobrik's right-hand man. He appears in practically all of David's content, from vlogs to their shared podcast views. And that means that Jason has been a part of almost all of the controversial events that have taken place with David and the squad recently. The most controversial stunt that Jason has been a part of is the SA prank on Seth Francois. This prank is what really started the downfall of the entire crew. If you need a quick refresher, basically David told Seth that he was going to be making out with Corinna Kopp, but Corinna needed to be in a face mask for some reason. Then after the makeout, it was revealed that the person that Seth was kissing wasn't actually Corinna, but rather Jason. Many have called him out for partaking in the disgusting stunt, and he's being cancelled right alongside David. However, he hasn't commented on the backlash at all yet. In at number 1, Lil Nas X. Okay, obviously Lil Nas X isn't an influencer, he's a musical artist. However, he's one of the biggest trolls on the entire internet and posts frequently on his Twitter and TikTok accounts. So I think we can all agree that he's a rapper that uses social media the most to boost his career. Lil Nas X got everyone talking when he released the music video for his new song, Montero, Call Me By Your Name, that had satanic themes in it. Many religious groups got up in arms over the messaging in the video, which got it even more exposure. And the backlash is most likely what caused it to be one of the most successful music videos in the history of YouTube. The controversy surrounding the song also caused his limited edition 666 Satan shoes, which each contain a drop of human blood and cost over $1,000 per pair, to sell out in minutes.
Starting things off at number 10, we got Jeffree Star. Now, given how long I've been doing this, there are definitely numerous videos where I've talked mad trash about a lot of people, Jeffree included. I think I've made it quite evident that I dislike Jeffree, but truth be told, I don't know him personally, so I shouldn't pass judgment. That being said, of what I do know, based on how he portrays himself and how the media portrays him, Jeff here, he just doesn't seem like the best guy. There have been countless controversies that he's either started or have been a part of, most notably Dramageddon. But aside from that, Jeffree's past has come to bite him as well, with people calling him racist, a bully, anti-Semitic, and even being accused of making unwanted advancements on people in an inappropriate way, if you get what I'm saying. Unfortunately, YouTube is getting a little more strict with words that we can or can't say, which at times makes my job incredibly challenging and creative at the same time. Gotta love censorship. Moving on to number 9, we got Kendall and Kylie Jenner. We're getting 2 for the price of 1 here because these girls really just love to find ways to get people talking, regardless of why. Although I don't blame Kendall for taking the gig, there was that one Pepsi commercial where she pretty much put an end to social injustice and police brutality by handing an ice-cold Pepsi to a cop. Again, it's not her fault, but worth a mention. You know what was definitely her fault though? Her 25th holiday birthday bash during our pandemic, in which she was encouraging guests to take photos, but not post them on social media. Why not, Kendall? Why shouldn't all the maskless celebrities post photos to their millions of followers who are likely jobless, staying indoors and not socializing because of our pandemic? I just don't see any reason as to why Kendall wouldn't want people posting the photos. I really just can't place my finger on it. Maybe you guys can let me know. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, if we're being honest. But I also love Kendall and hate talking about her in a negative light, so I am sorry. Kylie, on the other hand, well, she's another story because I don't have a crush on her. All joking aside, it seems of the two, Kylie has had more scandals, which includes the time she was called out on TikTok for being an awful tipper, her controversial cameo in Cardi B's music video, the Forbes billionaire incident, writing about the Australian wildfires, and then posting her mink slippers on Instagram. It seems the list just goes on and on. The two sisters have been in some hot water for ripping off smaller brands or creators in the past, and not appropriately paying their company's employees' wages. But the last one I doubt is on them as much as it is the business manager, but still, they're the face of the brand, so they deal with the good and the bad. On to number 8, we got the Ace family. Now, some may say they're an adorable family, while others could argue they're one of the most problematic family channels on YouTube. For the most part, their content is clean family fun. However, over the years, there have been numerous rumors, photos, and even videos that didn't depict some of the family members in the best light. More specifically, it seems Austin McBroom, Catherine's husband and the father of the Ace family, has gotten himself into more than one controversy. There was a time he jokingly filmed his little cousin demanding he buys her an inappropriate shaped lollipop. We'll just leave it at that. There were also the accusations by Cole Kerrigan, in which Austin was accused of forcing himself onto someone. It seems that one went to court and it's unclear what the outcome was, but Austin made it clear he was going to sue for for defamation. More recently, the family uploaded a clip to their YouTube page, which included a clip which appeared to miss the edit. Prior to the family's intro, Austin can be heard screaming and swearing at his wife Catherine, the mother of their children, about his hair. Catherine took to Twitter to address the incident, which went viral on TikTok, explaining that it's just part of marriage. And at number 7, Trisha Paytas. Some people love her, others absolutely despise her. Personally, I think she just knows how to market herself, and similar to Jake Paul, who to no surprise is also on this list, Trisha just knows how to make a name for herself. Regardless of why people are talking about her, it seems Trisha knows what she needs to do to profit off of her name, even if it means people are going to be upset. She's clearly just one who thrives off of drama and controversy, which is why she releases the types of videos that she does. Currently, it seems she's getting into a feud with 18-year-old Dixie D'Amelio and her younger sister, 16-year-old Charlie. Why a 32-year-old is feuding with kids half her age on the internet? Well, I couldn't tell you. Actually, I could tell you. It's because they're the biggest names on the internet and in entertainment, and this will only help Trisha's brand. But considering how it seems her brand is now based on causing controversies, I mean, yikes. On to number 6, we got Bella Thorne. Now, odds are you all know about her OnlyFans controversy, and if you don't, well, it pissed a lot of people off. Thorne took to OnlyFans and charged people a few bucks to see her bare it all, except she didn't. In fact, a lot of the photos were similar to what she posts on Instagram. With that being said, OnlyFans doesn't require you to do anything. You don't necessarily have to show everything, nor does it say that anywhere. People just assumed Bella was going to be showing some X-rated content, and in a sense, got duped. Well, not really, as she played it off as things would be in fact X-rated, and although I said she charged a couple bucks, she really charged $200 for just one photo. She would end up making $2 million in less than a week's time, which, if you ask me, is incredibly impressive. Where the issue lies is that the debacle led to the company, OnlyFans, to change how they go about business. Customers were upset with Bella's tactics and demanded refunds, so OnlyFans changed the way they pay out their creators. Now those who post on the site need to wait 30 days instead of a week's time to receive their payouts. There's also limits on how much people could charge, as well as a limit on how much someone could get tipped. Bella also said she only did it for research purposes for a film, which to people who rely on the site for an income, especially given our current pandemic, well, it didn't go over too well. At number 5, we got Tati Westbrook. I'm probably saying her name wrong. You guys always give me shit for it. This isn't even in the script. This is me just riffing right now. If I say her name wrong, I'm sorry. I always do. You know who I'm talking about. Great. I mean, you probably know all about Dramageddon with Jeffree, Schawn, and James, but it seems that was just the tip of the iceberg. Just over a month ago, news broke that Tati and her husband were being sued by their former business partner for breach of contract and fraud. If all of the YouTuber drama wasn't enough, it seems Westbrook and her husband have also been shady in the real business world. Not to say that YouTube isn't real business, but I'm talking outside of the influencer drama realm. Clark Swanson, who was their former business partner, claimed that at one point he owned 50% of the nutritional supplements company while they owned the other half. It was then agreed upon that if Swanson gave 2/3 of the company to his partners, the two of them would, I quote, commit to use Halo Beauty as Miss Westbrook's umbrella brand for all of her beauty launches, cosmetics, skincare, fragrance, all of Tati Westbrook's beauty products. Mr. Swanson agreed to those terms. Tati also claimed she had numerous influencers, including James Charles, who would endorse their brand, claiming they turned down deals with Sugar Bear Hair, a competitor, to prove their loyalty to her. As we know, James went on to promote Sugar Bear Hair, Tati posted "Bye Sister," and that ruined their whole relationship, which really affected Swanson's business. He also claimed after meeting with numerous makeup manufacturers, it was clear the couple, I quote, actively interfered with Mr. Swanson's efforts to grow Halo Beauty, likely because she launched Tati Beauty. At number 4, we got Zoe Laverne. I mean, not much to go into detail on this one, but if you know about the situation here, then understand why it's a problem. This is more so TikTok drama, but in a nutshell, Zoe was exposed on video for kissing someone she shouldn't be kissing. In fact, it was another TikTok influencer, 13-year-old Connor Joyce, who has over 420,000 followers at the time of this recording. Nice. What's not so nice is the situation with these two, as it appears these two clearly had feelings for each other, which is pretty uncomfortable. Zoe claimed the two were never in a relationship and that Connor's mother knew about the situation, but wasn't so happy. Zoe's mother also defended her actions, which didn't surprise me because it's her daughter. But it seems most people on the app aren't too thrilled about the situation at hand, yet still Zoe somehow has over 17.5 million followers. Interesting. On to number 3, Mariel Marrero. Back in July of 2019, there was a huge controversy between Mar and a salon in Vegas, which she accused of giving her a skin infection. It seems this was a trend in the YouTube beauty community, with people going to the worst rated places in their cities. However, most would do their best to hide where they were going, so not to publicly shame and hurt the business. It seems Mar didn't care much to do that, which made it pretty easy for people to identify where she went. Mar made jokes about how dirty everything was and blamed the salon for her skin infection, but would be called out shortly after on Twitter by the makeup artist's daughter, who goes by Tiff. Tiff claimed that Mar set the salon up and was trying to fool her viewers into thinking she was a victim and the salon was bad. When asked for a doctor's note, Mar didn't provide one, and people thought she was lying about the infection in the first place. More recently, Mar was caught stealing content from another YouTuber, Hey Paris, who has a fraction of her subscribers. Classic case of the big brand stealing and suppressing the little ones. Paris wasn't credited in the video, and although Mar said that she was credited in the description, no one really checks that. Mar also passed it off as if the story was her own, which again, it's very shady. On to number 2, we got Bryce Hall. I'd say this kid is the Jake Paul of TikTok because he just seems like the kind of guy who feels he can get away with anything and just say whatever he wants and do whatever he wants without any repercussion. For example, even though he was warned multiple times not to throw a party at his LA house due to COVID restrictions and lockdown protocols, well, he did anyways, more than once. This led to the mayor literally shutting off his power and water for ignoring the previous warnings. Now you guys probably know by now, I respect a lot of these kids' hustle and drive to make a name for themselves, but at the same time, you gotta hold yourself to a certain standard that it seems Bryce doesn't care to. Given who his audience is, I just feel maybe he isn't setting the best example. And now in at number 1, we got Jake Paul. The kid has been involved in numerous controversies, but my biggest issue currently is the fact that he's making a joke of the fight world. I'll give it to him. His knockout against Nate was impressive, but calling out Conor McGregor? Come on, dude. That's like beating Wayne Gretzky to a game of one-on-one basketball and then saying he'd be able to take down Michael Jordan. Not to say Conor is the best the UFC will ever see, but he's certainly one of them, and a boxer first. For Jake to act like he's the better fighter, it just makes the whole fight community seem like a joke. Now, I'm sure not that many people take what Jake says seriously, as he was also seen in Arizona during the protests in a mall, which was being looted. Jake claims he didn't steal, but his house was raided by the FBI, and he's since made jokes about that. It seems the kid feels he's untouchable, and love him or hate him, as of now, it seems like he is. But that doesn't mean he's not problematic, and I think it's a matter of time until his behavior comes back to bite him.
Starting off at number 10, we have Jeff Wittek. So if you're a fan of the Vlog Squad, you probably know who Jeff Wittek is. But what you might not know is that he actually used to do some pretty bad stuff back in the day before he got famous. And when he was just 21, he actually went to jail for a few months on charges of dealing and possession of drugs, with his bond coming out to $61,000. And Jeff is very open about his past, often making the butt of some jokes in David's vlogs, as well as speaking openly about some of the negative encounters he had while behind bars. Telling Durte Dom on his podcast about the fights, the struggle to abide by the rules, and getting bored because he was in a cell all day. But saying that even though it was hard at times, he used humor to get through it, and he is thankful for the life lessons that he learned through the process. In at number 9, Mike Majlak. So Mike is a host on Logan Paul's Impulsive podcast, and he adds an edgy touch to the show, frequently speaking about his rocky past and how he used to be a degenerate, in his own words. Viewers got to learn more about this as Mike recently released a book called The Fifth Vital, where he described in detail some of his darkest moments before gaining internet fame. In the book, he writes about his past as a drug dealer and how he was addicted to narcotics for 8 years after trying it as a teenager. He speaks how during this time he would do illegal and despicable things to feed his addiction. And even though he speaks about being ashamed of his past, he's grateful for the lessons that it taught him, and through his book he is hoping to be a beacon of light and support for those who are currently struggling, so that they can see there is a light at the end of the tunnel. In at number 8, Jeremy Meeks. So Jeremy Meeks is better known as the hot felon that gained a ton of recognition online after his mugshot was posted on Facebook. And now because of the recognition, he is a model and an influencer. But during the time he was getting praised, a lot of people were debating if he should be getting all this praise from women, as it seemed like women were overlooking the fact that he was a convict who had went to jail at one point, just because he was good looking. And if you're wondering, he went to jail for possessing a semi-automatic pistol. But since he was released in 2016, he has made a huge change with his life, as I said before, and he has since found God and a new career as a fashion model. Up at number 7, Shane Dawson. Shane Dawson has had a lot of controversy around his name because of some of the things he has done in his past. The main issue that people have was that back in the day he used to dress up in blackface to portray black characters in his sketches. As well, he would often play a character he called Shaniqua, and he would portray harmful racist stereotypes while doing so. However, Shane has come out about this many times in his career and apologized for his past actions, including in a YouTube video he uploaded a few years ago. And even though his actions in the past were problematic, he seems to have really grown and changed and is regretful of his past action. And it seems like the YouTube community has forgiven him for his past as well. In at number 6, Logan Paul. So Logan Paul was involved in potentially one of the most problematic scandals in YouTube history when he filmed the body of a person who had passed away while he was in Japan back in 2017. After this, Logan faced a ton of backlash from his fans and fellow YouTubers, as well as getting kicked out of YouTube Preferred and getting dropped by a bunch of his sponsors. And after he made an apology for the situation, he decided to take a long break from YouTube. And now he's back and arguably thriving on YouTube again. And he has acknowledged his problematic actions in the past and seems to have learned from it. Halfway through number 5, Jeffree Star. So Jeffree Star is not only a massive creator on YouTube, but he has a long past of internet stardom, getting his start with fame on MySpace, where he was one of the top people on the site. And back in those days, Jeffree thrived on outrage and shock value, and said things that were racist and problematic in the past. And more recently, things have come out about his past with controversial musician Dahvie Vanity and Vanity's alleged abuse of minors. And although Jeffree has apologized for his racism and problematic MySpace behavior, as well as addressed his issues with Dahvie Vanity with Chris Hansen in an interview, the internet still seems to be torn on if Jeffree has changed from his past or if he's still problematic today. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this one below. And at number 4, Nicole Arbour. So I'm sure we all know about Nicole Arbour, as she gained most of her internet fame when she released her video Dear Fat People back in 2015, and it got maybe the most backlash of a YouTube video that I had ever seen at that time. And of course, people were quick to point out how it was incredibly harmful and unnecessary the video was. And of course, people were quick to point out how it was an incredibly harmful and unnecessary video that was not going to help the world in literally any way. So I went to do some research to see if she had changed since then, or if she has the same views that she had back then. And judging by how many dislikes a lot of her recent videos have now, I'm assuming she's not really evolved in her views and is still trolling for clicks online. So in at number 3, we have Tana Mongeau. So this next one about Tana is a little different, as it's not about her past actions, but the action of her parents, and how her troublesome childhood has negatively affected her life. Tana has spoken about her problematic parents since her early days on YouTube, when she describes dropping out of school and getting a job so that she could move into her own place away from her parents. She also spoke more about it in her MTV No Filters Christmas special, where she opened up that the holidays are terrible for her because of her strained relationship with her parents, saying in the show, "I grew up in Vegas with 2 parents who were completely unfit to be parents, and I still in so many ways just want nothing to do with them." Then she continued that she does not know who to spend her holidays with, as she doesn't feel like she has any real family outside of her friend group. And now thankfully she has her friends that feel like family to be by her side. Up at number 2, Danielle Bregoli. So Danielle Bregoli, aka Bad Baby, gained her 15 minutes of fame after her and her mother appeared on the Dr. Phil show in 2016, with her mother being concerned over Danielle's problematic and out of control behavior, and her mother claiming she was ready to turn Danielle over to the authorities, with her mother also detailing how Danielle had stolen her credit cards and cash, even purchasing a stripper pole with the money. And then of course when she went on Dr. Phil, the audience was not very fond of her, and this led her to say her now infamous line, "Cash me aside, how about that?" So this is another one that's hard to say if she's grown at all from her past, but considering she still gets in a lot of drama with her fellow musicians, she still might have some growing up to do. And in at number 1, the Fine Brothers. So this one is another one that's a little different, but this past action by the Fine Brothers had the ability to completely change the nature of YouTube and hurt potentially thousands of creators in the process. Basically, back in 2015, after all the success the brothers had reached on their YouTube channel, particularly because of their reaction series, they decided to attempt to trademark the term react, with the trademark covering an ongoing series of programs and webisodes via the internet in a field of observing and interviewing various groups of people. Then the brothers went on to defend this by saying the creators that wanted to do reaction videos could easily obtain a license from them. But after a ton of outrage online, the brothers thankfully decided to apologize and rescind their application. The backlash here was because people did not believe the brothers deserved ownership over the React genre, as it's not an original idea by any means, and they were not even the first ones to popularize the genre. Then others were very concerned over how this could have been a flimsy monetary scheme that would give them control over a huge portion of YouTube. And the fact that they started to file takedowns for other creators' React videos during this time also really hurt their rep, with them losing over 500,000 subscribers because of this whole scandal.
During the numerous lockdowns that have occurred all over the world thanks to our pandemic, OnlyFans saw a massive increase in both users and creators. Seeing how it was a way for people to make some extra cash while they couldn't really go to work, I understand why there was so much interest in it. So starting us off at number 10, Tana Mongeau. Got just under 5.5 million subscribers on YouTube and just as many on Instagram, where she posts all kinds of content from her usual bikini shot to whatever else she posts on there. Unlike many other creators, Tana actually made her OnlyFans OnlyFans free to subscribe to, with the option of paying extra for some of her more explicit content. Now, the idea of having a free subscription-based service is legit, because it's not like she's ripping people off. But apparently her paid content, which I myself haven't paid for, nor have I seen, is similar to what she's posting on Instagram. Mostly just her in a bikini or some shots of her booty with an occasional nip slip video. It seems that those who are willing to pay $40+ for the various uncensored videos and photos she made available, none of them impressed all that much. In fact, a lot of people complained that Tana was posting the same stuff she posts to Instagram and charging her fans $40 to see the goods. Although there is some content that wouldn't be allowed on Instagram, I'm not sure if it's worth $40. All in all, a lot of people said it was kind of a scam and just hurt other creators who relied on OnlyFans income to pay their bills. Now at number 9, London Goheen. I was going to refer to her as the pregnant girl, but I figured I should at the very least tell you her actual name. The reason why I was going to call her the pregnant girl is because she recently made headlines after people were outraged to find out she was selling photos of her baby bump on OnlyFans. Now I'm all for making some coin. In fact, I actually encourage it, and I think if people are actually willing to pay $15 monthly to follow her pregnancy journey, then she should take advantage of that. On the flip side, I understand why people are upset and thought it was outrageous for her to even post such a promotion. That being said, people get mad about anything and everything. Gucci shoes for $1,500? I would never. And here's the best part. I don't have to, but someone else would. Much like OnlyFans, no one is forcing you to subscribe, but other people would be very interested. So, it's my stance. Now at number 8, Blac Chyna. Now she's known for being involved in her fair share of controversies, making numerous appearances on Keeping Up with the Kardashians and her makeup line, as well as modeling career. But now Chyna is charging fans $50 a month to subscribe to her on OnlyFans, which includes videos of her feet, which are apparently very popular. I think the biggest takeaway from it all though is that she made headlines not too long ago for offering fans and subscribers a chance to jump on a FaceTime call with her. Yeah, for $950, she's willing to jump on a call that will likely last less than a minute, but if that's too much for you, a good $250 will get you a follow back on Instagram. I'm not sure how much it would cost for her to just follow you without you following her, but I feel like it likely costs somewhere between the $250 and $950 mark. I don't know, it's just like a hunch. At number 7, Tyga. Quite recently, as in the other week, Rack City rapper, who at one point was in an entanglement with Kylie Jenner, posted that he had jumped on the OnlyFans train. Now Tyga is apparently posting some explicit content on his page, so at least he's kind of following suit, but again, I think the idea here is more so celebs and influencers with large followings, regardless of what they're doing on the site, are taken away from other creators in general. Now considering how Tyga is a successful rapper and is dropping a new track soon, has been cast as a series regular on the MTV show Scream, and apparently has a food delivery service called Tyga Bites, which offers chicken nuggets and sauces, I don't see why he needs to jump on OnlyFans. Could it be that his other ventures aren't working for him? Potentially, but I'm not gonna lie. If I could download an app that just gives me an option of where I could buy chicken nuggets and the different sauces available, I would be all over that immediately. Like, immediately. Give me my chicken nuggets and sauces. Bringing us to number 6, Nickocado Avocado. Aside from ruining OnlyFans, Nick also ruined YouTube. Alright, I'm not gonna jump on the hate train like everyone else and bash this guy, but all joking aside, I just don't understand him or his brand whatsoever. I get the idea of mukbanging, but it seems his videos are mostly just ugly crying while eating a lot of food. And not only does that seem unhealthy from a lifestyle choice, but I feel it's mentally exhausting as well. People expect to see him crying while eating, and I just wonder what it's doing to him as a person. Apparently his OnlyFans content isn't all that much better, as another YouTuber, Kavos, bought the subscription and made a video in which he appears to be holding down his vomit on the regular. I'm not kidding, throughout the video he seems to be gagging a lot as he makes his way through Nick's catalog of photos. And I think that's like a form of bullying, and Kavos is kind of an asshole, but at the same time, from what I was able to see, it doesn't seem like Nick puts much effort into his content on OnlyFans and is expecting people to pay $15 monthly for, well, photos of him bending over. Halfway at 5, Aaron Carter. Sure, at one point he was a child star, but now AC has got the face tats, he's pursuing a rap career, and apparently is showing it all only on OnlyFans for the low price of $27 a month. Aside from his content on OnlyFans, Carter is also starting to stream on Cam Soda, which is a very popular adult streaming site. You know what I mean, they don't stream video games. However, when speaking with Fox, Carter actually said, "I'm a singer, not an adult star." Yet in the same breath he revealed that if he were to do an adult film, he would need to be paid somewhere in the $3 million range. I guess everyone has their price, and Aaron just told the world his. Only thing is, I don't think anyone's willing to pay $3 million to see this guy in action. But again, it's like $27, check out his OnlyFans. Some pictures of the guy that's saying I want candy. Bringing us to number 4, Cardi B. One of the most prolific musicians or rappers in recent years, Cardi B has made quite a brand and quite a fortune from her brand. So the idea of her jumping on OnlyFans is a little strange because, it just seems kind of unnecessary. That being said, like they said, it's not hard to get to the top, but to stay there. So for anyone who has business ventures to continue expanding isn't a bad idea, but to do it on OnlyFans, it's a little iffy. Now Cardi isn't going to be posting anything explicit on her page. She's only charging $5 for a subscription, which is reasonable, but still, she's easily the biggest star to date to jump on the site. She's got plenty of hits under her belt with her latest song WAP reaching number 1. And when Cardi first realized her page was charging $10 a month instead of $5, she made sure to quickly change that. As per OnlyFans, Cardi's focus on the site will be to address ongoing rumors, share glimpses into her personal life, connect closer with fans, and much more. As of now, I do believe she has some behind the scenes from her WAP music video on there. Bringing us to number 3, Swae Lee. Didn't even mean for the rhyme, but I'm happy it happened. As you guys can see, very enthusiastic. Swae has a successful music career on his own, as well as being part of the duo Ray Shremmerd. I don't see why he needs to jump on the OnlyFans train as well. But it makes sense, as he's not doing it for money and instead offers a free subscription for fans. He's only been active on his profile twice to post little previews of his upcoming music video. It doesn't seem like a platform he's really committed to, and definitely won't be posting any explicit content, at least anytime in the near future. If anything, I think Swae just wanted to see what the hype was all about, and when he realized it wasn't his thing, kind of just left off right where he started. Still, there are other similar websites like Patreon where users could pay a monthly fee to unlock and get exclusive content. But then again, OnlyFans wasn't made just for explicit content, nor is that what it's only used for. So At number 2, Ashley Schawn. Tana's best friend, Ashley actually launched her OnlyFans right when Tana did, as they had a little photo shoot to promote together. Just like Tana, Ashley's page is free to follow or subscribe to, but she also offers a $200 a month VIP exclusive subscription, which gets you all the good stuff. This includes custom videos, most likely explicit photos, and plenty of other things in the same realm. But given Schawn's status of being besties with Tana and having a YouTube channel with 400,000 subs, well, she likely doesn't need to be on OnlyFans. But as I've been saying all along, guys, let people make their money. I understand when large creators jump on a site like OnlyFans, where it's already tough to get subscriptions and grow a following, it can be seen as unfair or even morally wrong. But the reality is, they need to make money too, and I genuinely do believe, regardless of who you are, if you provide content that really is good, you'll be able to compete with and potentially even beat out some of these creators with hundreds or millions of followers. Now, I'm not saying if someone has millions of subs on YouTube and they're making a ton of money, that it's okay for them to prevent others from making money on OnlyFans, but I also think if you connect with subscribers and create content that they tell others about, it'll easily beat out a lot of these influencers and celebrities with large followings who don't care about the content they put out under the impression people will buy it anyways because of who they are. And that, my friends, is a great segue into number 1. At number 1, Bella Thorne. She made headlines with numerous sources literally blaming her specifically for ruining OnlyFans for other content creators. A lot of the headlines also mentioned how she made $2 million, yes, $2 million, within a week of creating her account and didn't post any explicit content at all. She actually made her first million within 24 hours, causing the site to crash. But her joining the platform also led to significant changes to the platform, such as putting a $50 limit on images and $100 on videos for sale, after Thorne sold a $200 image of herself, which people thought would be explicit, but wasn't. As you can imagine, this upset a lot of customers. There's also now a 30-day wait period to get paid instead of the 7 days it used to be. To make matters worse, Bella admitted to using the site for research for a film she's a part of, and when you're affecting people's livelihood for research, well, I can see why that'd be an issue. She's since issued an apology, but it seems the damage is already done. And there you guys have it for the top 10 influencers that ruined OnlyFans. We got some influencers, we got some celebs. To me, they're all the same, really. And I fully understand the outrage. I fully support anyone who's comfortable enough to post themselves on OnlyFans. And as I've said before, encourage it because we can all make money and live our best lives. Now, when people with large followings start to take over a platform, I understand why it's frustrating, but it's all about perspective. At first, people may be willing to pay more for a celebrity than a small creator, but when they see the type of content being posted, they'll likely realize the smaller creators who likely charge less are giving them much more value. What I'm saying is the celebrity OnlyFans thing won't last forever because they just aren't made out for it. Well, not all of them at least.